Good afternoon everybody, welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be demonstrating the upgrades to the solar setup. So this is take two of off-grid living. We are still in the same position unfortunately, and this hasn't been lined and insulated, but today we are more going to be covering the solar rig and some of the research that I have come across over the past 3 years or so weeks that I've actually been living this way. So with a bit of research and a bit of experimenting, let's get into the tutorial, and first of all we'll talk about the research. So as living off the grid and all that, and doing research about it as you're living off the grid and experimenting, a common thing that I come across is that if you can run pretty much devices using direct current power supply rather than a AC inverter, which I've got 1,000 watt simulated sine wave AC inverter on the heater, which is the alligator clips is on the battery. I showed the battery in the last tutorial. When you're using the AC inverter, there's a power loss, because what happens is it's got to convert from DC to AC, and just doing that alone there's a significant power loss. And the way you notice with that is even just converting to AC into DC does the same thing too. When, like, on a typical AC to DC charger, if you were to plug your phone into the USB wall piece of that and then plug into the wall, what you notice is when your phone's charging, the power supply or the power box gets hot, and that's because it's converting AC into DC. And what that means is these power loss converting AC into DC, and that's where the heat comes in, because the power loss creates heat because it's dissipated. You can't use the excess. So when you're running an AC inverter, so what's going to happen is it's got to convert it from a 12 volt DC to a 220 or 240, which is here where I am, AC. Then the devices themselves has to convert that AC back into DC, which is these double power loss. Never mind the excess voltage that gets wasted in the line, because stepping it from 12 volt to 240 volt, you've got to step things high just to step it down low back again, back it down low. So if we avoid that, and rather than stepping it up just to step it down low, is to either step it up or not have the AC interaction at all, just everything direct current. So that's pretty much the main goal of this. As there's a computer fan running in front of you, and the reason why that's going to be my full-time fan is that's running direct current, so that's DC. There's no AC aspect involved in that fan spinning. That's just the positive and negative alligator clips on the battery that goes to the charge controller, which this is another thing that is on its own now. On the last tutorial it was actually on the panel itself. So the solar panel is no longer in this window, and the charge controller is here. So this is the second one, is the charge controller is independent of the panel now. It's not pot riveted. So we've got the front light and the back light in the bottom, and the inside lights at the bottom and the front light on the top. We've got the shower running in the DC out, but what I've just rigged up before is that fan. All I've done is just mounted or bridged the wires, the positive and the positive of each and the negatives of the fan, and just screwed them back in after they've been, I just wrapped the thinner cord around the thicker cord, put it all back in, and it's all running. So the shower runs off that too, and the lights on the USB. I've put, with the help of a bro, we've put extensions on the panel, so the panel's actually on the roof now. The battery clips, or the battery lead is still the same, but yeah, we've now got the panel on the roof, and I'll demonstrate that. But now, just before I rigged up that fan, so now that's all running DC, there's no AC mechanism. And if we go over here, there's the shower. It's a bit windy, so it just thinged it. That's all running DC. That light over there, that's still running DC. And if we climb this ladder, just to show you, I installed it on the roof. A bit ruggedly, but the weight of the panel and also the way I've installed this will cause it to stay where it is. And we've had wind, rain, and it's still stayed in the same place. It hasn't budged at all. So I cut up a extension wire, like just your average extension cable that you would use for AC appliances. I just cut the brown and the green wire because I didn't need the third, just the brown and the green, and I mounted it to the panel, or the bro mounted it to the panel because he helped me with the rest. I just tidied it up, and the extension cord is a long one, which is what I wanted because the panel is going on the roof and the charge controller's off it. So I just stuffed these back under here so it's out of the water. No water can get to these cables. I try and put it in a way where cables don't get exposed where the joins are. So I'll just quickly do that. Oops. That'll do. That will do. So yeah, there's a long extension which threads on top of where the door is. Hang on, I'm just getting down. So that brings the power in, and it's good being on the roof because that means that I get more charge. I still got to upgrade to an MPPT charge controller, but this is doing quite well. It's taken like 5 days to really get this big battery up, but the result of it is, yeah, we've got a upgraded setup. I do run the AC inverter for charging laptops, and I've got a Bluetooth speaker here that runs off a charger. I'm currently in the process of trying to get this to charge with a DC direct current rather than having an AC to DC wall outlet, which these usually have to plug into an AC, converts into DC, and it pushes into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and rig up a cable that has the same fitting, because it's the fitting that determines the voltage, and then from there we're going to go from off the battery, or we'll actually route that through a charge controller too, just to have a little bit more regulation. So yeah, I just thought I'd demonstrate the solar setup. There's the inverter, there's the light for the direct DC. If you turn it on, it's AC, but we only use it to charge the phone, so the USB is still live even though the AC is off. And that's just the solar battery that goes from there to the wall. That's it, still big deep cycle. And our precious fan, that's going to keep me nice and cool in the summertime, and using stuff or power. I could probably leave this running all day and all night, and the solar will probably get charging. For these good sunny days, the solar will probably still charge the battery itself, and this will just be running off free power, you might as well say. So yeah, I just thought I would just demonstrate the solar setup. It still needs to be upgraded, but we'll get there, as long as I've got the lights and all that going. And I can power more things on those USBs, like sounds, but what I'm going to do is, yeah, as I said, I'm going to get rig up a wire for this, because this will be my new sounds if I can get this to charge just with DC. So without further ado, I hope everyone has a good day. I just thought I would demonstrate the upgrades, what I've done, and to give people ideas of what they want to do. So everyone have a good day, and until next time, cheer cheer.